Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and your name is?
Linda.
Hi, Linda. How may I help you?
Well, got a little situation going on and some life transitions,
Okay.
and I'm not really quite sure how to handle it all.
Okay, so tell me more about your situation.
Well, I work for the post office. And I can pay all the bills and everything, so that's good. But I have a spouse that's about to be released. He was incarcerated for the last few years and having a lot of um, mixed feelings, I guess would be the best way to say.
Okay, so tell me more about these mixed feelings that you have since your spouse is incarcerated for all this time.
Well, we've visited him every time they let you, and initially when he went in, I was supportive, and I've been supportive, and I'm still supportive, but um, to a lesser degree maybe, or with
Okay.
some concerns
Mm-hmm.
might be a better way to put that. But it's going to alter our life when he comes out,
Okay.
and financially, physically, emotionally, and I don't feel the same way I did when he went in. I don't see him taking ownership of this. He's still doing the blame game. Everything was somebody else's fault.
Okay. And so let me get this straight. So your husband's been incarcerated for a couple of years. You wind up getting a job, and you're able to pay the bills and stuff.
Right.
So now you have a concern because since he's coming back, you don't feel that he'll be able to stand up to the job that he has as a husband and a father. Is that correct?
I'm afraid of a repeat, perhaps, because he hasn't taken ownership of his decisions that caused him. Were there extenuating circumstances? Yes. Um, is he a good person? I think so. But if you're going to truly change, you have to own your part in it, however small it was. And I don't see him taking any ownership. And when you come out, from what I know, every application you apply for a job, you're going to have to list that you were incarcerated for a felony. This is not a misdemeanor.
Okay.
And so that sort of is a game changer. Makes getting a job harder, which means I'm going to have to support him for a while financially if and when he ever does get a job. And what are the chances that he's going to be a repeat offender? I don't know. And so, even though I was supportive the whole time he was in, and I don't want to just throw him to the wolves, I don't feel that there's been any ownership of this on his part.
Okay, so you feel that since he hasn't owned up to the fact that he made a mistake or his part in the mistake, you feel that when he comes home, that he won't be able to really accept or do things that will be accepting to the family to say, okay, I made this mistake, I'm owning up to it, let me try and better myself. You feel that maybe he may just repeat and go back again?
There's that potential that's in the back of my mind, but how do I navigate what I'm not certain of, and I'm not sure you can help me with it, but maybe you can point me in the right direction, is how to be supportive without being enabling maybe, or without putting having better boundaries for myself so that the progress I've made in supporting the family doesn't get eroded by his release.
Okay. So, and let me understand. So, what are your feelings about, since you say that you feel less feelings for him, what does that mean?
Um, well, a man has to be a stand-up guy. He has to take ownership. And if he's not willing to own this, what else is he not willing to own? And then that changes how you feel about a person when they're not, I don't want to say humble because I don't need him to be humble, but that's a part of it. Accepting his responsibility, being responsible. And if you're not responsible in what area, you know, is he going to blame everything from here on out on the fact that he went to jail and now it's my fault because I'm not being supportive enough? And
Okay.
it's sort of a snowball effect,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense.
Okay. Well, have you talked to him about how you feel?
A little, but it's very hard to talk when we're visiting because you're surrounded by people and there's not a lot of privacy about that. And so I'm not really sure how to. Um, I'm not sure what support services he'll have when he gets out. If he's going to, I know he'll have a probation officer and he'll have somebody he has to report to, but I'm not sure they handle that part of it. They probably check up on physically where they are,
Mhm.
and how many jobs they've applied for or whatever. But as far as like the emotional reconnecting with the family, I think it might be better if he wasn't just right in the house the minute he gets out. And I'm trying to work through that
Okay.
scenario.
All right. So what I'm hearing is the fact that you're scared that when he comes back home that he may disrupt the household because you've had this flow for so many years without him, and
Yes.
then for him to just pop back in and say, "Hey, I'm here." You want more of a transition type of thing for him to come back home to say maybe he's in a halfway house and then maybe ease his way back into the house. Maybe do like weekends he'll stay and then he'll go back to the halfway house. Would that be something?
Maybe because he sort of not only has to prove himself to society, he needs to prove himself to us before we really fully put ourselves at risk, especially financially.
Okay.
And if it's typical for guys who get out of jail to not be able to find a job right away, and then they get angry.
Mhm.
And that's one of my concerns. Is he wasn't an angry person, with violent outbursts or anything before, but when they get frustrated, anybody pushed enough can get very frustrated.
Yes.
And so I'm just not sure how to navigate all these waters and still be kind and sympathetic, but not unsympathetic to my needs.
I understand how you feel because it's the fact that you are married, but it's almost to the fact that you're a single parent because he's
Correct.
been away for so long and you've done everything. I really, accommodate you to the fact that you have, achieved a great paying job. You're supporting your family. You haven't had any issues. And then for him to come back and then just make you go backwards is it's a hard thing to think about.
That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. That you've captured that in a nutshell. The question is how I navigate that, and are there any resources for reuniting families? Is he going to be eligible for any counseling services, and who would those be through? Just the Department of Justice? Those are kind of some things I'm looking into, and maybe when he gets released in 3 weeks, so maybe they will provide some paperwork in the meantime to give me some resources.
Okay. Would you be interested in going into family counseling?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Will he?
Will
I
he?
don't know. I don't know how
Okay.
he's going to. It's one thing when he's in there, but when he's free, he may want to just push this all by the wayside and act like it didn't happen.
Okay. Yes.
And that's what I'm concerned about. So I would like that, but whether he would like that or not is another question.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into maybe see about getting some counseling for you and him, even for him, so he would be able to readjust back into society,
Right.
to let him understand how you feel and how you've done everything for so long, and then just for him to jump back that, you feel that it's going to be a hindrance to you and the family. And we'll also talk to maybe his probation officer that he can maybe put him in a halfway house to the fact that that slowly, gradually, maybe try and get him acclimated back to the family, so that
Right.
it's not just a straight push in and I'm here and I'm taking over, but maybe a gradual, and maybe when he gets a job, that he can show to you and the family that he is the man that he once was, even though he made a mistake.
Right.
So does that sound like a plan
That
to you?
sounds like exactly what I need to have happen. Now, whether he'll go along with that or not, I have no idea. We'll
Okay,
just
but
have to,
but even if he doesn't, we still have to work on you because this is something how you feel,
right.
and all you can do is work on what you can work on.
If he's not willing to work on any of this, then that tells me the direction I need to go, because I'm not willing to just act like this didn't happen and just go back to square one.
Okay.
Is
That sounds so. I think that maybe we have a plan together for you, and then we'll see how everything else works out. Here goes my name and my number. You can give me a call anytime, and
Okay.
we'll set up another appointment so we can talk again.
We have a pre-release appointment in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'll get the paperwork then, and I'll give you a call.
Yes, you can. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.